Hey guys, it's Legendary Narwhal back again. Today, looking at a game that just came out on Steam not that long ago. I don't think it's been out for more than a month probably. It's called Legend of Grimrock. Now, I haven't played games like Eye of the Beholder, things like that, more old school dungeon crawler kind of games. This game is a dungeon crawler. It has grid-based movement, as you can kind of gather from this. So it's cool. It's real time. It's not turn-based. It's just grid movement. At the moment, I do have the ambient sound muted just so you can hear me better. You can, once we get into the game, and I'll turn it on throughout the first level and stuff so you can kind of hear what it sounds like. If you'd like me to leave it on, leave in the comments below. If you'd like it off, then that's fine as well. So, this game, we're going to launch a new one. I'll say right off the bat, I have already played this game up to about level 6 of Grimrock. I think there's 13 levels total, so I have already played almost half of the game. So sadly, it's not going to be entirely first impression for the first half of this Let's Play here. I bought it basically from looking at things on what Total Biscuit had posted about it and what the Yogscast had posted about it, the Total Halibut and Blues FOS channels respectively, and it looked really good. So I bought it and I played it, and then I was like, you know what, I haven't done a Let's Play on this channel. It would be cool to do one of Grimrock. So here I am. First thing that you'll notice is there are no options right now to choose a different dungeon. However, as it says here, expansions and user-made content will be added here. So, they're saying, hey, we might have another level eventually. And they're also saying, hey, this is going to get open source to people that want to make content of their own. There will be level designers for this, and I definitely can't wait to try them out. So at the moment, Grimrock is all that is available. A side note on dungeons. If you are interested in playing this game yourself, and you have not already, I would advise you to not watch this yet. Grimrock is not procedurally generated at all, not by any means. Meaning that if I play through level 1 and say level 2, and then you launch your game like, hey, that looked really good, I'm going to buy it. You buy it, you start playing it, your content will be exactly the same as mine. The puzzles are exactly the same. The secrets are exactly the same. Their location and the contents of said secrets are exactly the same. Enemies are exactly the same. Everything is the same. So, this entire Let's Play, if you have not done the level yourself, is going to be major, major spoilers. As in, spoiling the entire game. So, now that that's out of the way, there are multiple difficulty levels, easy, hard, and normal. We're going to be playing on normal. I think easy will be too easy, and hard, that's probably going to be too hard for me to handle. Now, there's an option here for old school mode. I will not be doing this, but for those of you that want this option, it's there. This basically turns off auto mapping. When you're in game, you can hit tab and it brings up a map of the level that you're on. So you can see all the places you've been, and it has solid bold lines on the walls. So if you don't see those, it's like, oh, I haven't been here yet, or something opened up behind me, because before it was a solid wall, now it's not. So the map is really useful, and you can actually make notes on it so that you can kind of remind yourself of something like, hey, I'm not comfortable going in this room yet, but I want to come check it out later. So this turns that off. You would literally have to map it out yourself, as they kind of say here. Won't be doing that. I will be doing this. I will be creating my own characters. Now, you may think that it's kind of odd they even give you this option, like, why would I not want to create my own characters? Well, I haven't tried the template that they have, but from what I've heard online, the template is actually really good. There's not a whole lot of need to change it, unless you really want to min-max your whole party to exactly your specifications. There's no real need to create your own characters. However, I will be doing that. So we're going to hit apply. And then, as the title of this video and the description will tell you, this video is not going to include any of the actual levels. This video I'm going to be talking about fighter, mage, rogue, all the races, all the skills, all of the traits here, things like that. I'll just pick one to get out of the menu, but I can change it to whatever I want. It doesn't matter. So, okay. So, first of all, You are a party of 4 prisoners. The basic story of this is that you committed some sort of treasonous act or whatever, and basically you're all loaded onto this zeppelin, and the king says, your sins will be absolved atop Mount Grimrock. And Mount Grimrock is a giant mountain. They fly you up to the top of it, and there's a hole. And basically what happens is they throw you all down the hole, shout out, "This is Sparta," and all of your crimes are absolved. So you're free. Yay. Any treasons or whatever, totally forgiven. Problem is that no one has ever made it out alive to live in freedom after achieving it by being thrown into Grimrock. So hopefully this party of adventurers here will be the first. Hopefully they were framed. Hopefully I'm not actually helping, like, legit murderers or rapists or something, like out of the mountain, because I wouldn't want to do that. Hopefully they will all be innocent. So we're going to go for that. Alright. So human, most adaptable, they have 4 skill points. You see over here I have 4 skill points to spend in these assorted skills. Now, these are the skills for a fighter. And the skills here will change. If I go to mage, if I go to rogue, you see the skills change. So for fighter, the skills we have here are athletics. Mostly this increases, like as you can see the first couple here, strength, vitality, health. It does go down much farther than that. One comment that I will say, I'm kind of disappointed that you can't see the entire tree, because there's much, much more than just 8. It goes down to, I think, 50 in each one of these. So athletics helps out with basic stamina, like vitality, health. There are also things in athletics that allow you to carry more weight, and I believe allow you to consume less food. You do have hunger bars in this game, however, I have not found it to be much of a problem from my personal playthrough already. Haven't really been starving for anything, so I don't really think that's as big of an issue. Armor, protection, health, there's some evasion as well. Your main protection stats are protection, which is armor, and evasion, which is dodge. So you can either reduce damage you take or try and dodge it entirely. Accuracy, chance to hit, and then attack power, how strong you hit, with basically everything in the game. Strength, attack power, dexterity is accuracy and evasion. Vitality is HP. Now, vitality is cool because this increases the HP that you gain like every time you level up as well, and it also helps things like poison and disease wear off quicker. So if, for example, we have a choice in here, let me find it. So you can either pick tough, which is health plus 15, or healthy, which is vitality plus 2. In that situation, if you look right here, my health is 60, okay? If I click on tough, it goes up to 75. Okay, let's click something else. So now I'm 60 again. What if I click healthy? 65. It is slightly less, so I'm not going to start with as much. However, now I will be gaining more health on subsequent levels. So eventually these raw stats here will surpass things like health and energy. So I personally would not go for something like tough or aura, because those things do these kinds of stats, and the ones you want to increase are these base ones, because then as you level up you'll gain more and more and more. So the traits, and these traits go for everything. These traits are true for all 3 of these, all of the races. Aggressive, you get more attack power. Agility, dexterity plus 2, so more accuracy. Strength plus 2, energy plus 15, don't really want that. Cold-blooded, don't believe you really want that. I haven't really found specific spell resist to be all that important, so I wouldn't take it. Evasion could be really, really good. That is quite a bit of evasion. 7 is actually a pretty big number as far as like evasion stats on items go in the game. 7's pretty large. Again, elemental resist. Fist fighter. Attack power 6 when unarmed. So, it might not mean anything to you right away. However, there are a couple different ones that are actually added on in things like Rogue, and I'm going to show you that they're not actually traits, they're skills. So Fist Fighter gives you more attack power if you're unarmed. If you pick Minotaur, they have a unique trait where if you carry skulls in your bag, you gain more attack power, which is pretty cool. Because there are several skulls throughout the game, so that can actually add up to give you quite a bit of attack power, much more than any of these other traits would give. More vitality, bonus protection for being an insectoid. Insectoids have naturally the lowest health and things like that. So if you do want to do an insectoid tank, you can get helped out by this trait if you really want to try it. Resist, skilled is really good, and I usually take skilled on everyone. I'm probably going to take skilled on everyone I'm going to make. Probably. I might not, but I probably will. Because 3 more skill points right off the bat is really, really good. More willpower, which is, more energy per level, things like that, so you can cast more spells. And then tough is HP. Alright, cool. So let's just pick one, get out of that. So, for a fighter, athletics is the armor and all that. Well, not the armor. Armor is the armor. Athletics is the carry more, less food consumption, more health, more vitality. There are things like light armor and heavy armor in the game, and they give you negative evasion penalties unless you have light and heavy armor skill, which is in here. So if you want to wear heavier armor, you're going to need to put points into that. And then axes, maces, and swords all have specific little things for them. Basically, you can pick what you want to do right at the start, dump all your points into it, don't really spread them around, there's not any point, so just dump them all in, and then you'll be really, really good. You'll have more accuracy, you'll hit harder, and there's special attacks, like you can see here, level 10 bash at the bottom there, and then swords, level 10 slash, things like that. Unarmed combat, this would go well with that whole tavern brawler thing in the traits, more attack power when you're unarmed. This makes you fight unarmed, so you get things like accuracy and health for putting points in this, along with more special attacks like jab, so that's pretty cool. Mages, they have all different kinds of magic. There's air, there's earth, there's fire, there's ice. Those are the 4 main schools. The other extra things here are spellcraft. This mostly involves you can cast spells quicker, so your cooldown after casting a spell is less, and you have more mana, more energy, so you can cast more often. Staff defense is a tanking thing. You get protection, evasion, and HP by putting points into this, so you can tank as a mage if you'd like to. You don't have to tank as a fighter with armor. You can tank as a mage in staff defense, that's fine. I believe putting points in staff defense, you have things in here that will allow you to wear light and heavy armor without the penalties. So that's pretty good. Rogue, assassination, mostly things with daggers. You might see their level 12 reach attack with melee weapons from back row. Your party, it looks like this here, but there's going to be a UI in the bottom right. It'll have one here, one here, one here, and one here. So it's rows. So the combat, since it's grid style, and it's not turn-based, it may seem simple, but it's actually deceptively complex. There's going to be a lot of kiting involved in the game. Positioning is going to be very key. If you get backed into a corner, one of your 4 members is probably going to die. Most likely the 2 in the back. So if you're arranged here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're fighting someone in front of you, if they're hitting you this way, then your front row will take the damage. Both of them have the chance to get hit. If someone flanks you, and they're attacking you from the left, and you're facing this way, then that means this front guy and this back guy will take damage. Back row probably won't have as much defense as your front row, since front row is normally the tanking row, so that's going to be very dangerous. The same if they attack you from this angle, this side will get hit. And God forbid if something is behind you, it'll hit both members of your back row. That's going to deal a lot of damage. Certain spell casts do affect all 4 members of a party, things like that. So you can't always protect people by putting them in the back, but you can try. So that's what the reach thing means there. Daggers, you would probably level daggers up along with assassination. They're both kind of the same. Daggers gives you more stuff with daggers. Dodge, you can tank with a rogue based on evasion, and there's a lot of evade stuff in here. It also gives you the things for light and heavy armor. Missile and throwing weapons. Now I'm going to skip missile for a minute because I do have a gripe about missile weapons that I do want to share with you so that you know this as well, because it's actually a little counterintuitive and not very many people know as far as I'm aware. And the same goes for thrown weapons as well. So I'm going to do unarmed combat. Unarmed combat, same as fighter actually, so no need to do that. Now, throwing weapons and missile weapons. For throwing weapons, you can throw things faster and you gain strength. So you get strength consecutively through leveling this up. That's fine. Missile weapons, which is what you're always going to want to take over thrown weapons, because missile weapons do much more damage. You gain energy and dexterity as you level this up, along with attacking faster, things like that. The dexterity is actually useless. Completely and totally useless. If you make a rogue and you want him to use missile weapons, do not put points into dexterity. Do not do it. Don't. Dexterity is of accuracy and evasion. The thing with thrown and missile weapons in this game is that they are thrown straight from your character, so whether or not you hit or miss is based on where the enemy model is and where you throw it. They're not going to just all of a sudden duck down and dodge it. That doesn't happen. Meaning that getting dexterity for something like missile weapons is actually a complete and total waste. Because if you shoot an arrow straight from your character at something straight in front of you, you will hit them. You will hit them. You cannot miss. It is impossible. You might do 0 damage if they have a lot of armor, but it is impossible to miss. So, the best one to do, and this is what I did on my second playthrough, actually. This is actually my third time attempting to create a party. I'm going to make a Minotaur Rogue. He's going to be an archer. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load stuff into strength, and I'll put the rest of them in vitality. I'm going to load up strength as high as I can. Minotaurs, as you can see, humans have 10 all the way down the board. They're pretty standard. Minotaurs, very strong, a lot of HP, not very accurate, not good spellcasters. The Lizardmen, more balanced, however, they have a little bit more innate dodge, so they make slightly better rogues than humans, maybe, just based off the bat. Insectoids, they have pretty good accuracy, and they have very high willpower. Insectoid is going to be the best for a caster. They are, as you see, health 40, 45, 45, 55. So Minotaur has the highest base health. Human and Lizard are basically the same. Energy varies a little bit. Insectoids have the highest energy by quite a margin, but also they have the lowest HP. So what I'm going to do is, since Minotaurs have the highest base strength, I'm going to max this out and put the rest of my points in vitality, and I'm going to make this guy archer. I'm going to make this guy archer, and I'm going to pick, who should it be? You can actually import your own portraits and things like that, so that's kind of cool. You can get images from anywhere, literally anywhere, put them in the folder, and that can be your portrait in the game. So that's pretty cool of them. That's pretty cool of them. Let's go with this guy. Let's go with that guy. So I'm going to go with aggressive to give me more attack power, and I'm going to go with the Minotaur only trait of Headhunter, because if I find skulls throughout the levels, that'll give me even more. And I'm going to put my one skill point that I have into missile weapons. Okay? Next guy, let's see, let's do a mage. So I'm going to make an insectoid mage. I'm going to max out the willpower as much as I can, and then I'm going to give him, let's see, do I want to give him more dodge or more HP? Probably more HP if I put these 4 in. The problem is, for every point, you only get about 3 more HP or 2 more HP, but always remember that's going to give you more as you level up as well. So it is really good. Okay, and I don't know about the pink. I mean, I'll go with this guy. Real men wear pink, right? Let's go with him. Now, spellcasting in this game, it's weird. As you can see, the spells here are like question, question, question. So it won't tell you what it is. If I put my skill points into something, like, let's see, Earth Magic requires 3, okay? For the first spell, it requires 3. I have 3. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't tell me what it is. I can use it, but it won't tell me what it is. In order to learn a spell, you also need to find a scroll explaining the runes of the spell. Basically, spellcasting in this game is like a number pad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in rows, essentially. So I already know the combinations for a lot of the beginning spells in the game. So if I have the skill, like if I put 2 in fire magic, normally I would either experiment on my own, like just stand in a room and try different number combinations, like different rune combinations to try and get it right, or I would find a scroll somewhere in the dungeon that has the combination on it, already listed. Combination. Now, I don't need to wait for either because I already know a bunch of them, so I already know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to load up into ice magic. That's going to be the one I'm going to pick. There is a spell later on called Frostbolt, and that has a chance to freeze your enemy solid, which is really, really cool. So I want to try to do that. That's going to be my goal here. I'm going to try to do that. Spellcraft is also pretty important. At level 5, you can see those 2 spells. Those are light and darkness. You can either put all the light out, all the torches out, really only useful for things like puzzles involving shadows and things, or, the useful one, you can make light. You do need to carry around torches in this game, or some form of light. So being able to cast light means you don't have to carry torches. That's pretty awesome. So traits here, I'm going to go Strong Mind to give even more willpower. And then, let's see, we don't really need the bonus energy because our willpower is going to level that up for us kind of already anyway. I'm going to go with Skilled to get even more skill points. That's what I'm going to do. So I already have 3 points into that. I'm going to go ahead and put these 3 points directly in to Spellcraft. Alright? And that's going to let me get to light spells and things really soon, so I won't have to bother with torches all that much. So that's going to be really cool too. Alright, next one. I'm trying to decide if I want to be a fighter or a rogue, like to tank. I don't know. Let's go fighter. I think I'm going to go double fighter is what I'm going to do. And the way I'm going to kind of design this is I'm not really going to make them necessarily for tanking. Not really. So these guys are going to be largely based on just dealing loads and loads of damage. In fact, I'm going to put as much into that as I can. Put more accuracy, and I'll give 1 back to that. So 16, 13, 11. I'm actually going to do double human, so let's go. Let's do the same things for the same. 16, 13, 11. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. So let's see. These guys. That's going to be good. So I'm going to go just balls to the wall, glass cannon style. I'm not going to make my front line really tanky. They are going to have some vitality and stuff. They are both going to be fighters, so they'll have innately a little more HP, but they're both going to do damage. I'm not really going to put points in armor that much. Later on, I'll probably go up to maybe light armor so I can wear it without evasion penalties, but I am going to go mostly all damage. Okay, I'm going to pick one of these and just go for it. I think I'm going to pick swords for one of them, so I'm just going to load up on swords. Traits. Strength. Yeah. We're going to pick strength, so athletic, and then we're going to pick, let's see, should we pick skilled too? We could pick skilled, or we could get more just attack power. Just more attack power. I think that could be pretty good. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Athletic and aggressive. And I'm going to do the same thing. So he's going to be athletic and aggressive. So they're both going to do loads of damage. Other guys, swords, mace axes. In most games, and I believe in this one as well, maces do a lot of damage, but they don't have as much accuracy. And that's not really what I want. So this guy's going to do axes. I'm going to have an axe guy, a sword guy, a frost mage, and an archer. Okay, let me see. Names doesn't really matter that much. Archer, because he's going to shoot things. Snow mage. And swords. Let's see. Mr. Stabby. And Lumberjack. There we go. I think that's fine. So, this video has been, the focus of it has just been kind of showing what these are, showing what these are, showing what these are, what these are, what these are, what all of this creation stuff does. So, I know it's been kind of long. I think it's been now, I don't know, like a 25 minute video or something like that. I don't really have a timer. So that's going to be it for this one. I'll probably try and do like 30-minute or so episodes, maybe a little bit longer. It depends on like if I encounter like really good stopping points and things. The beginning of the game is going to go by pretty quickly, mostly because I already remember how to do a lot of the puzzles and stuff from when I did it initially on my own. So the beginning of the game is going to go by pretty quick, but I can easily foresee the late game taking much longer. So we'll see how it goes, guys. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna just kind of shut up now, and I'm gonna hit start game, and I'm gonna let you guys see the opening sequence. Alright, enjoy. Okay, so there you go. That was the intro to the game, so kind of what I already described. You can hear that. You can rearrange your party members. You can crisscross whenever you want. You can do this during combat. You can do everything during combat. There are no restrictions. You can do it all during combat, so you don't need to wait if you don't want to. So if these guys get really hurt and I think these guys can handle it, I can swap out really quick and they can take the damage. And then if these guys heal up a little bit, put my tanks back out front where they belong. Okay? As you can see, there's a torch there, and the rest of the room is very dark. Very dark. So light is a big thing in this game. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to leave it here. So we're going to go escape. We're going to go save game. As you can see here, I already kind of have these two. This one I have played already for quite some time, and I'm only on level 6. I'm only about halfway through the game, so that can kind of give you a rough estimate for the play time of this game. It's going to be a little bit more than double this, probably more, so I would say you're probably going to get at least 20 hours of gameplay out of this if you're like me and you're not really particularly good at puzzle games and picking things up right away. Then yeah, so because there are 13s, this is about halfway through. I can only imagine it getting harder. This was kind of my more normal party, like with two like tanky guys, like armor and evasion. Then I had my like mage and rogue and stuff. That was before I knew about the dexterity thing, so he has a lot of dexterity, which is useless. This guy's my archer in my second try, and he does loads of damage, so I already know he's going to be awesome once he actually gets some stuff. I already know he's going to be awesome. Pick those two guys because I like them the most. Switched him out because he's kind of creepy looking. I mean, they're all creepy looking, but you know what I mean. So, let's say, oops, well, here. Save, create new file. Let's play Legend of Grimrock. Shit. Let's play. There. I'll see you guys next time.